This channel and video is sponsored by Ratchet Clothing. Look for their link down below in the description to this video.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Today I'm going to be speaking about a member of my former family, Eugene Boopsie Castelle. In May of 2016, Boopsie was arrested and indicted for illegal gambling, attempted extortion, and for racketeering. According to the indictment, Boopsie and others from May 2015 to March of 2016 operated a Costa Rican gambling site called www.stakestake.com. The attempted extortion was in regard to Boopsie's failed attempt in shaking down Bree's demolition. As it turns out, the company was on record with the Bonanno family. In that type of situation, the owners of the company must have ran to whoever it is that they were with, and in turn, Boopsie would be told to back off. Subsequently, Boopsie retained defense attorney Gerald McMahon. After his first appearance in court, bail was granted and he was able to walk out of the courthouse. By May of 2019, the government charged Boopsie in a new superseding indictment. But before that even took place, they offered him a great plea that most smart people would have taken. If he pled guilty to the illegal gambling, they would dismiss the attempted extortion and the racketeering charges. And he would only be facing a sentencing range from 8 to 14 months. It's the kind of sentence where you walk into prison, they tell you don't even bother taking off your shoes because before you know it, you'll be walking out the door. If you pay attention to most of these racketeering cases, usually most end with the defendant or defendants taking a plea. But Boopsie refused to take the deal, and here's why. 2 months early, in March of 2019, Joe Camarano, Joe C., and John Porky Zancocchio of the Bonanno family, who were indicted along with Boopsie in the original indictment, were acquitted at trial. So Boopsie, being the genius that he is, figures he could beat the case too, and he takes it to trial. He almost had his bail revoked after the AUSA Jason Sweargold brought to Judge Hallerstein's attention that Boopsie was involved in 2 acts of domestic abuse in a 9-month period. According to the prosecutor, Boopsie strangled his girlfriend and left red marks on her neck, and a similar incident took place in August of 2018. Boopsie's lawyer, McMahon, blamed it on the woman being drunk. The prosecutor told the judge that the 121st precinct in Staten Island had photographs of the woman's injury. Surprisingly, the judge didn't revoke his bail, but he did warn Boopsie to stay away from the woman. As the trial got underway, I was called as a witness by the government. When it was time to be cross-examined by McMahon, he did a terrible job in attempting to shake my testimony. His cross-examination ended with being admonished by Judge Hallerstein, who told him he was finished and excused me. That day after court, McMahon, obviously upset about his performance, Googled my name and searched for unknown crimes that I may have committed. And bingo, he finds what he believes will get his client a mistrial. In his desperation, he finds an article dated March 9, 2012 from Today in Costa Rica. The article states that John Panisi stabbed a guy to death in Costa Rica. If you take notice of the arrow, I believe when McMahon read this, he was as happy as Patty's pig. I must admit, a guy my age with my same name and above all is an Italian from New York is kind of strange. So the next day, with his smoking gun new evidence in hand, he's in court stomping his Buster Browns, crying foul to Judge Hallerstein. Unfortunately for McMahon, aka Inspector Clouseau, I received a call from an agent on a Lucchese squad asking me if I've ever been to Costa Rica. And I told him I've never been there, but I could be lying to cover myself, right? Well, in the United States, the State Department keeps a record of everyone who leaves the country, and there is no record of this John Panisi ever traveling to Costa Rica. So the amateur private investigator McMahon made a total ass out of himself in court that day. Couldn't happen to a better guy. I'm a firm believer in when you live life surrounded by negativity or spreading it, that is exactly what life will bring you in return. On May 31st, 2019, the jury convicted Boopsie of illegal gambling and racketeering. The judge sentenced him to 77 months, which is 14 months over his minimum guideline. And that's called an upward departure. Basically, the judge has the authority to sentence someone above their guideline range. But Boopsie didn't remain in prison for long. In March of 2020, he filed a motion for emergency bail. While at Danbury Federal Prison, he complained of pandemic-related sickness. The judge released him pending the appeal that he filed in regard to his conviction, and Boopsie was released. But on January 6th of 2021, the Second Circuit affirmed his conviction. 2 days later, on January 8th, Judge Hallerstein ordered Boopsie to surrender into custody. Boopsie asked the judge if he could stay out pending a motion he just filed for compassionate release. Just to be clear, at the time he applied for compassionate release, he didn't even have a full year incarcerated yet. The system is replete with guys a lot older than Boopsie with more health issues and who have served decades in prison, and they all get denied. If anyone is more deserving, it's guys like that. The judge denied his request, and his compassionate release motion was also denied. So Boopsie had to return back to Danbury, where he filed another appeal. This time, he was asking for a sentence reduction. In essence, he was asking the court if it would allow him to take the government's original plea offer. He also claimed ineffective assistance of counsel against his lawyer, McMahon. According to Boopsie, McMahon failed to properly advise him. His appeal states that McMahon told him he would only be facing 33 to 41 months, and that's why he refused to take the government's plea offer to take an 8 to 14-month sentence. If you think about it, he made the choice not to accept that plea. Why he thought after being convicted and sentenced he could receive a plea for less time is beyond me. And blaming his lawyer for his poor decision-making is just typical of him. Ultimately, that appeal was denied as well. Since then, Boopsie's been spending a lot of time in Danbury's prison library with the jailhouse lawyers, following pro se motion after pro se motion, all of which have been denied. Not that there's anything wrong with filing motions and appeals. Most of us who were incarcerated had done the same. But there comes a point when you tell yourself the situation is what it is, and you just keep focused on your release date if you're lucky enough to have one. There are many things I could personally attest to about Boopsie, but I'll keep it to myself. I think his actions speak volumes about who he is. And although character-wise, his former lawyer is only one notch down from Boopsie, as the saying goes, even a broken clock is right twice a day. With that, I'll end this with a quote from his former lawyer, Gerald McMahon. All I have to say about Mr. Castelle is that I am disappointed. I thought he was more of a man than that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, you could do that as well. If you think friends and family might enjoy this video, please share it, and I thank you. Also, again, I thank everyone for participating in the community post questions. I try to base my questions on actual events that took place in the life, so I hope you look forward to the post. Till the next time. You can subscribe to the Sitdownnews blog at sitdownnews.com, and I appreciate everyone who has subscribed. Thank you. Well, just another example in the mob you never knew about. If you would like to subscribe to this channel, you can do so down below. If you would like to subscribe to my other channel, Unlimited Substance Podcast, I'll add a link in the description to this video.